When you hear the word autopilot, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's something straight out of a movie, right? The pilot flips a single switch, leans back, and bam, the machine is flying itself. A magic button. But the real story, both up in the sky and down on our roads, is so much more complex. And, honestly, way more fascinating.
So let's ask the big question right up front. Is it really that simple? Can you just hit a button and check out? Well, in this explainer, we're going to tear that myth apart. We're going to dig into what autopilot actually is, from where it all started in aviation to the crazy advanced systems in the cars we're driving today. Let's get into it.
All right, to really get a grip on the automation in your car, we gotta go back in time and up in the air. See, in aviation, autopilot was never, ever about replacing the pilot. It was designed from day one to help them, to be a partner. And that created this incredible human-machine team. And here's the number one reason why that partnership is so important. A human pilot, even on their best day, takes about a quarter of a second to react. A flight computer? We're talking milliseconds. It's not even a fair fight. That massive speed difference is exactly why they share the work. The computer makes thousands of tiny constant adjustments faster than a human ever could, while the pilot handles the big picture, the strategy, the safety, the unexpected. This really shows you that autopilot isn't just one setting you turn on or off. It's more like a whole toolkit that changes with the job. During that intense climb phase, the system is locked onto pre-programmed routes. Then, when you're cruising, it's all about rock-solid precision, holding the perfect altitude to save fuel and cut down on pilot fatigue. And as you come in for a landing, it can perform these incredibly precise maneuvers, sometimes guiding the plane right down to the runway. A different tool for every part of the journey. I love this quote from a pilot over on Reddit. It just nails the whole concept perfectly. The pilot is always flying the plane. They are constantly watching, checking, and double-checking that the automation is doing exactly what it's been told to do. It's a powerful tool, for sure, but one that needs a vigilant human supervisor at all times. Okay, so let's bring this whole idea back down to Earth. Literally. If the sky is like a perfectly organized multi-lane highway with super clear rules, then our roads are a chaotic free-for-all. And that makes putting automation in a car an entirely different beast. Just think about it for a second. You've got pedestrians, cyclists, dogs, cars pulling out with no warning, a million things that just don't happen at 35,000 feet. The system has to see and predict what dozens of different people and things are going to do, all at the same time. The complexity is just mind-boggling. And this is exactly why autopilot in a car isn't just one thing. It's a whole spectrum. These are the official SAE levels of driving automation. Now, most of the systems you see on the road today are level 2. That means the car handles the steering and the speed, but, and this is the important part, you have to be watching it like a hawk, ready to jump in at any second. You're still driving, but your job description is changing. And here's a perfect real-world example of that. Even with some of the most cutting-edge systems out there in beta testing, the car might see a green light, slow down, and then wait for you to give it the go-ahead by pulling a stalk or tapping the gas. It's basically asking for permission, which constantly reminds you that you're the one who's ultimately in charge. So this leads us to a really important shift in how we need to think about this stuff. Automation doesn't mean it's time to kick back and relax. Nope. It means your job has changed. You're not just a driver anymore. You are now a full-time system monitor. And there's an official term for this new role, a fallback-ready user. It's a key idea. It means you are the designated backup. You're the safety net. You're expected to be totally aware and ready to take back control the instant the system says, "I've hit my limit, it's all you." And that handover, it happens in a split second. The car sees something it can't handle, it beeps or buzzes to get your attention, and in that moment, you have to instantly understand everything. Your speed, the traffic around you, the problem ahead, and then make the right move. It's a super high-stakes moment that demands your absolute undivided attention. So, how does the car know you're actually ready to take over? Well, it watches you back. These advanced driver monitoring systems are tracking where you're looking, if you're getting sleepy, even where your hands are. It's making sure you haven't just decided you're a passenger. It's a two-way street. The car watches the road, and it also watches you. A true partnership. Now, making this human-machine team work safely is, as you can imagine, incredibly difficult. It takes a massively rigorous process of design, testing, and validation that happens for years before this technology ever gets near a customer.
So what does that journey look like? Well, first, a new feature drives millions upon millions of virtual kilometers in computer simulations, facing every crazy scenario you can think of. If it passes that, it moves to a controlled proving ground for real-world tests that can be repeated over and over. Then it hits the actual road with professional drivers for thousands of hours. And only after all of that does it finally get tested with regular folks like you and me. Every single step is about building trust through relentless testing.
So what's the end goal of all this testing? What's the safety benchmark they're aiming for? Well, it's us. Here in the USA, a human driver, on average, is in a fatal crash about once every 228 million kilometers. The mission for these automated systems isn't just to be as good as us, it's to be significantly better. That's the mountain they have to climb. But look, even the safest system in the world is only one half of the equation. The other half is an educated driver. The tech alone isn't enough. That's why companies pour resources into things like how-to videos and hands-on training. For this partnership to actually work, you, the driver, have to understand what the system can do and, just as importantly, what it can't. Which brings us right back to where we started. Autopilot, whether it's in a jumbo jet or your family car, is not about replacing the human. It's about building a smarter, safer team that uses the best of both worlds, the lightning-fast reflexes of the machine and the incredible judgment and big-picture understanding of a human being. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As our cars and our planes get smarter and more capable, our role is going to keep changing. So I'll leave you with this thought. As we hand more and more tasks over to the machine, what does it really mean for us to be in control?